Hello, it's Peter Wright and Kathleen Beauvais in Ontario, Canada, with another episode of the Yakking Show. This is the show that provides you with a greater range of actionable business ideas than you'll find practically anywhere else on the internet. We also have some guests who will tell you about health and a few other things, but our main focus is business to help you as an entrepreneur, small business owner, or corporate manager improve your business and your life. First, let me introduce co-host Kathleen Beauvais from Waterloo. Hi, Kathleen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Peter. Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning into our show. We so appreciate you and we love reading your comments. So please keep those coming. And if anyone is interested in being a guest on our show, all you have to do is go to theyakkingshow.com, click on the contacts tab, and there's a short application form. We'd love to hear from you. So just fill that out. And as Peter mentioned, we do have another special guest with us today. His name is Luke Nieuwland. Luke, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Now,
Good.
Luke, you are the owner-operator of Whisky Run Golf Club in Port Colbourne, Ontario. You're also the co-founder of Birrdi Inc. It's a golf tee sheet software that integrates with Square, and we can't wait to get into that in just a little bit. But first, for our audience, can you give us a little bit about your background and how you had developed such a passion for golf?
Yeah, for sure. So I love golf. I mean, I've been a part of my life, virtually my entire life almost. We have a golf course called Whisky Run Golf Club in Port Colbourne, Ontario, Canada. We've owned, it's a family owned and operated in my family since 1989. I spent all that time since basically working there. I don't know if I missed a year. I might have missed one, but been working at that, doing everything basically you can think of at a golf course, from fixing ball marks, divots out on the golf course, to working in the bar restaurant, to cutting the greens with the big riding mowers, to most of the majority of my time has been spent on the sort of the front lines in the pro shop and doing the marketing for the golf course though. But all in all, I love playing it. I've played it competitively when I was younger, and the golf has just been such a big part of my life.
Wow, very good.
Yeah.
So I'm a non-golfer now. I did play golf way back when I was in the corporate world. It was the thing to play golf, right?
Yeah.
And I had the luxury in South Africa working for a company that had country estates, sugar estates, and they had clubhouses. And one of those has in fact got an international standard golf course where they have international competition. So we were
Wow.
under some pressure as corporate managers to go and play golf, and I did while I was there. And then I was never very good. And then my kids, when they were teenagers, started beating me at the municipal course, and I must confess that's when I gave up. So that's my association with golf. However,
Yeah.
what worries me is when I look at. I used to watch a lot of the international matches on TV at one time as well. But has the interest in golf over the years decreased, or has it grown? How's it doing in the public awareness?
Yeah, so in 2008, it really started to like flatline,
Mm-hmm.
decline, and at least at my golf course, it was very flat up until COVID hit,
Yeah.
really, and COVID actually did really it was a good thing for golf because it was one of the things that you could actually go and do, and so you saw like a very high uptake in golf once COVID hit, and I think it's
Ah.
Winston Churchill that said, "Never let a good practice go to
Mm-hmm.
waste."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and so that was the huge opportunity for golf in
Ah.
2020. But the problem, like most golf courses, had trouble and still have horrible online booking experiences. So it was almost impossible to implement a really good system for them to get people playing golf safely and booking and reducing that sort of physical factor that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you've got to tell us about your Birrdi golf tee sheet software. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, that's a nice segue, right?
Yes, and where
So
the
yeah,
inspiration came for developing it.
yeah. So lucky for me at that time when COVID hit, like I already had Birrdi and Square in place,
Oh,
with before no foresight into anything COVID happening. But we with Birrdi, what we did is our goal was to make the golf course operator's life way easier. And I mean, everyone says
Mm-hmm.
that when it comes to software, and how do I know? Because I've tried to implement multiple systems well before. And when we were able to utilize Birrdi as the tee sheet, which is, if you're not familiar with golf, is the booking, how you make a reservation to go play. When we were able to get the average age of my golf course 70 years old, and pre-utilizing good technology, we were getting less than 20% of our golfers paying online. And post implementing Birrdi, and we were able to get 90%, 90
Really?
plus percent. Yeah, so we went from
Wow.
less than 20 to over 90% of our
Over
golfers
90%.
booking and paying online, and that's with an average age of 70.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
really good. That is really
Mhm.
good. Wow.
Yeah, and I have to say, like Birrdi, we're not like a golf tech company. We consider ourselves a tech company in golf, and what do I mean by that? I mean that we're on the cutting edge of
Mm,
technology.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
we believe in a terminology called the Kaizen, which is
Yeah.
consistent or constantly improving, and we've been doing that methodology since day one. One of the sort of the biggest improvements that we've made with the booking is we got rid of email, username, passwords.
Mm.
So
Okay.
that's stuff that you don't need to have a username, password anymore. Everybody's got too many passwords to begin with anyways.
Sure.
So now it's just completely mobile first. We send you a text, you click the link, you're logged in, you can start booking.
So this
Wow.
was your idea in
This
developing.
was there's three of us, three co-founders. So I have Michael, who's our engineer, who really is the genius behind the software. I'm an operator and obviously a golf course, so we were able to test right away and go all in with
Yeah.
Birrdi and Square. And then we also have Zach, who's our business development.
Hey, that is very
So,
good.
so are you actually marketing this now to other golf courses across
Yes,
Canada and actually
Canada, the
everywhere?
US. We're operating anywhere where Square operates because we integrate. We have a deep integration with
Hmm.
Square.
Okay.
We'll operate, yeah, we're anywhere where they operate, which is Australia, the UK, even Japan, Ireland, all of North America. Yeah.
Wow, very good. Hey? And Japan, of course, is very big on golf, aren't they?
Hmm.
Yeah. Excellent.
We don't
Very
have a
good.
course yet in Japan, but we are really looking forward to getting one.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah.
is interesting. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So over and above getting involved on cutting edge software for golf or golf software, you've also got some pretty innovative ideas for marketing your own golf course, Whisky Run. Now we had a look at your
Yeah.
website and we saw some quite interesting stuff. So tell our audience a little bit more about what you do and how would that help other leisure industries? We don't want you to give all your golfing competitors secrets, but is the lessons there for other leisure industries?
Well, yeah, the first thing really is actually it's on the backbone of actually technology too, because it's our loyalty program is the biggest thing, and that's when
Mhm.
we started Birrdi and Square in 2020. It's Square that allowed me to use the loyalty program, and this is it's where we actually give 10% cash back on every dollar you spend. So it's like it's the single biggest differentiator like I've ever seen in the industry, whether I've been a part of or been witness to. So, and that's at over 30 years of being in this industry. The golfers absolutely love it, love being rewarded, giving cash back that they can use at my golf course. And I think the best part about it from a business sense is that it allows me to really know my golfers and be able to remarket them using
Mhm.
using Square's automation, which are just like really easy buttons, nothing overly complicated. And that's over the last, if we look at it over the last 3 years, which I've been doing since 2020, what we've seen with the loyalty program, which has been unbelievably incredible, is that on average, a golfer who's in our loyalty program will spend 210% more than someone who's not, and will visit us 10 times more than
10
someone who's
times more.
not.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. That is amazing.
So yeah, and it's something like when I go to all the golf shows, association shows, everybody is always talking about, how do we increase revenues? How do we get golfers coming back? And it's like, I've got 3 years of data showing me this is it. This is how you do it. This is the holy grail of golf, so to speak.
Right. Well, and not just golf, but any business, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
some good lessons there for a number of other businesses. Wow, that is amazing. So when you talk, sorry, Kathleen, I'm going to pursue this one a little bit. When you talk remarketing, so with your knowledge through your loyalty program of your customers, you could be aware that Peter Wright, for instance, who's a real hacker and pretty useless on the golf course, but he's been fooling around with the same old set of clubs for the last 4 years. He hasn't bought a club in 4 years. Now's the time. We've got a special on, and we know he's tight with his money, so we've got a special on. Now we'll promote like hell this new range of golf clubs. Is that the sort of thing you can do with your loyalty program?
I mean, that could be a potential action.
Yeah.
One of the things is really being able to see across the board, across the operation. So not just in the retail and golf, but in my food and beverage side of things, at my bar, my restaurant, in the events, everything, because we're giving such a big percentage back that the golfers are utilizing that loyalty. And then I can see who's spending what where and where we need to focus on. It allows us to make more analytical, data-driven decisions.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. That's very good.
Yeah.
So as podcasters that help provide actionable ideas to business owners, can you give our audience some tips for marketing software, specifically software, and also leisure activity in a competitive environment? Because it is a competitive, there's a lot of, there's a lot of pull in several different directions for their time, for people's time.
Sure.
So can you give us some tips?
Yeah. Well, from my experience over the last 3 years, I say whatever you're doing in your business right now, I'd switch to Square. It's single-handedly enabled me to nearly double my business's revenue over the last 3 years. And a lot of people don't, don't understand Square completely. Everyone thinks it's a payment processor or that little white mag stripe you plug into your phone, but
that was my impression too. So it's much more than that then.
It's much more, and I'm probably going to miss out on a few of them, but like my website, my entire website that you guys saw, that's all built through Square. That enables me to sell anything I have online very easily. I have a loyalty program that I got a cat here. Sorry.
Oh, good.
We all have cats.
We all have cats.
Yeah, funny. So, but with loyalty, which is a huge part of my business, marketing, they have built-in marketing, text and email. You're scheduling, you could schedule staff members, do payroll, banking, appointments they do, which is more like hair salons, barbershops, coaches, things like that. And there's more, but I'm sure I'm forgetting it. But those ones alone are just massive. And the tools available with Square just it blew my mind when I first started, and I kicked myself for not starting earlier.
Very good.
Well,
Excellent.
That's excellent. Yeah.
And does it have its own email automation system, or do you integrate something else with that?
Nope, it has its own email marketing, text marketing.
The whole lot built
and the loyalty program's all text-based, all phone number-based, super fast, easy to use, easy for the customer, golfer, and guest in my case, and even for the frontline staff member. So
wow, that is amazing. So I'm going to go in a slightly different direction now. We touched on the popularity of golf a little bit earlier, but looking as a business person and looking at the world in general, it seems to me that, and we've had experience of this in Woodstock, where I live, where the one golf course 12 years ago was bought out by the city for Toyota, the Toyota factory, and they developed a brand new golf course, and then they closed last year because that farm where they were is surrounded by farmland, has all been brought into the city for further housing development. So the same golf course has been taken over twice. But if you look at real estate costs in all of the first world and even some of the other countries, and then you look at how, excuse me, a lot of young people are fascinated by electronics and don't do a lot of outdoor stuff. And then you look at our modern lifestyle means people don't have as much spare time. If you put all that together, is that not a big threat for the future of golf? How do you see the future of golf?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think golf got lucky when COVID hit. Like really traditional golf got lucky. We've seen a big spike and a sustained of 2021, but in this last year, even at my own golf course, I saw a decline, slight decline, but a decline. And I think that's going to continue unless you pivot. You're going to see a lot of more golf entertainment, which has been taking off like crazy. If you've heard of Top Golf and things of that nature, which are I think that direction is going to be huge. There's a ton of them popping up all around the world. And that's going to be a big driver. And it's even, I think, for traditional golf courses, it makes it even that much more important to understand who your golfers are and to be able to remarket to them and be able to give them an incentive to actually come to your golf course and play, which is why we push so hard for the loyalty program. And I'm glad we did in 2020 when we had all those golfers coming through.
So when you talk about golf and leisure activities, we had one of your colleagues who introduced us, in fact, Dave Schultz, a couple of months back, and that's what he does, right? And he seems to be doing quite well down in the States with that. It's almost like a hybrid. For those of our audience who are not familiar with the term, it's like a hybrid between real golf and digital golf or something, is it not?
Yeah, there's a mix. There's all kinds of models out there, and Dave has some pretty wild ones too. So there's some really cool. It's basically mixing technology and your regular, what we call like green grass or traditional golf. So it's really cool. It enables you to take less time because, like you said, time is a factor, and a round of golf typically can take 4 to 5 hours, depending. And you can cut that down to a couple and really have a good time. And it's seen like massive. I think actually what I was reading a few weeks back is that the total number of golfers that actually utilize like a golf entertainment, it's actually now over 50%. So over 50% of golf people who've engaged in any sort of golf activity, now that's just kind of swayed. It used to be traditional golf took the majority. Now actually it's the golf entertainment or the golf tech side that's really took the majority.
Wow, interesting stuff. So technologies. Now, what about things like the metaverse and virtual reality? Is that coming into some of these different types of golf as well?
I mean, there's a few things that are like I've seen that are, but I think it's still quite a ways out there. It's still there's still a lot left to be desired there, and I don't think the adoption is going to be that quick. But in like a decade, probably.
Interesting stuff. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Kathleen, back to you.
So other than marketing, I'd like to get back to the marketing of your golf course. And in fact, even in your Birrdi softwares, what exactly, so when you market are you basically promoting your loyalty club membership, or what kind of advertising just to get the word out there that you guys exist and that you're welcoming new members? What exactly?
Yeah.
What other stuff?
I mean, loyalty is one of the biggest ones.
Okay.
The loyalty, because it's such a big differentiator for us, that's like literally has been our main push over the last 3 years. But we do all kinds in terms of emails and running our events and just getting people to book tee times. Like that's all done. We do all the email marketing and everything through Square. But the loyalty has been our biggest push. That's a consistent one with my team and digitally pushing that as well too.
All right. So you got your newsletters out there on a monthly or
I don't really do newsletters. No, I do more specific. I like to keep things like very simple. So if we're talking about things, typically my emails are going to be one thing. So if it's an event, if it's a promotion, if it's a recap, it's not going to include like a bunch of things. It's going to be very specific.
Okay.
So you've told us quite a bit about how you manage a loyalty program and how you get people to your golf course. Once you've got them there, once they're at your Whisky Run golf course and they've had their round or they're in the pub, in the bar or whatever, what else do you do to keep them coming back? Once you've attracted the customer, what else do you do apart from the loyalty program to keep them coming back? What makes you different? That's what I'm saying.
It's the same answer, really. It's the loyalty program.
The loyalty program.
It is. That's the one that brings them back, because every dollar you spend, you're getting 10% back that you can use for anything. We don't limit it. You can use it on golf. You can use it for a drink. You can use it for food. You can use it on our website when you register for an event. This is the best way that I've seen to be able to bring people back. I mean, the standard things you're going to have. You're going to have good service. You're going to have good products.
Yeah, sure.
But the differentiator for us, the massive differentiator, I would say, has been the loyalty program.
Okay. Here's another one. We have a little bit of time, so I'm just going to come up with a couple more things that always intrigue me about golf courses. I'll get to the question, but I'll give you a bit of background. As I said earlier, I live in Woodstock, and I go to Tim Hortons quite often. I got addicted when I moved to Canada. So virtually every Tim Hortons in Woodstock has long wait times, both in the drive-through and if you go into the restaurant. And the one I use most has quite a big sign. It says, please don't get impatient with our staff. You know, we're short-staffed and we're really busy. And every service organization I go to, restaurant, coffee house, seems to have the same problem. They can't get people to work for them. So do you have that problem on the golf courses? Or are you able to find enough people to work for you?
Yeah, I mean, we see that problem mostly in like the what we call the shoulder season. So like the spring, the fall, because the majority of our workforce is actually the service workforce is our students. Yes. So they're college students or at the end of the high school students, and they're going back to school, they're going away, and trying to get people to fill those roles has been challenging for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So there's times where I can understand why people put those signs up.
That's right. But the corollary to that, if you like, is that we read that the economy's not doing too well. And I read the other day in the States alone this year, 90,000 jobs in the tech industry have been cancelled, right? There's 90,000 people from tech industry have lost their jobs, and all sorts of other industries because of COVID shutdown and everything else. A lot of people are unemployed. So at the one end you've got unemployment, and at the other end you can't find enough people to do the service jobs. It seems like a strange world to me.
It's a very bizarre scenario. Very bizarre.
Yeah. Interesting stuff.
So here, I'm sorry, Peter.
No, carry on.
Oh, if there's other golf clubs out there that are interested in your Birrdi software, how might they go about getting in touch with you? Because it's through you, right? That they could access.
They can go to the website, so birrdi.com, BIRRDI.com. You can literally get a tee sheet up and running for your business in less than 5 minutes. So yeah, we've made it. Most software companies want you to do a demo and sit through this big spiel. Like, we give you the keys, go for a test run. So it gives you an opportunity to jump in and get started right away, and we make it easy. So it's just like literally 5 minutes.
And the club would then pay a monthly fee to use your software then, I take it?
Yeah. So, I mean, out the gate, you can use it for free, just book tee times, but we have a tiered system where if you have events and you need events, then you can pay. If you want to work in the payments, then with Square, there's monthly fees that come with that. But yeah.
Very good. Very good. So here's a philosophical question for you, having been a golfer all your life. What lessons can golf teach us for success in life and business?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Patience.
That was literally at the top of my head, right? Because you think about patience, and because getting, like, when you think about like these things, is getting good at golf, it takes time, it takes effort. You could get the most expensive equipment, spend thousands of dollars on golf clubs and the best of the best, and if you can't hit the ball, you can't hit the ball. Like, you gotta work on that skill, and you gotta hone it, and so patience is a huge one. So put in the work, put in the effort. You're going to have some bad holes. It's like playing 18 holes is like going through like an entire life. It's a roller coaster for a while. You get some excitement when you first get started. You hit a bad shot, you're a little disappointed. Hit a good one, you're elated. It's like, it's got everything. And one of the great things about golf too is, and this is a good one, I think, is that you hold yourself accountable. So in life and business, I think it's really important. You can't put the blame when you hit the shot, and that's it. And I can't blame it on somebody else. The course, you can hear people blame, the course or the ball or the club, right? But ultimately, we know it's the person using that club, the tool, of how good they are. Yeah.
And from my limited experience, I found that consistency in practice or application is important, because unlike, let's say, squash, which I played quite a lot of, you have one racket, you have a number of shots, you have forehand, backhand, and this, but there's not that many actions in squash. You need a lot of agility, or racquetball, you call it. But in golf, you've got a whole lot of different clubs. You've got different length holes. You've got playing from rough grass to on the green. There's so many differences. It's not just one specific skill with golf, is it? There's a lot involved that and unless you do that every week or frequently, you're just not going to get good enough, right?
Yeah, that's right. There's the guys who love to just hit drivers, like go out there and just try to bomb it as far as they can. But then when you get to the green or up on the green, it's a very delicate game, and that's where most of the shots are made. So if you can't, what we call chipping around the green or putting on the green, if you can't do that, you're going to have a tough time. So it's a big wide range of sort of skills that you have to work on. And to your point, I mean, you got to put in the reps. You got to put in the reps in each of those facets of the game.
No, very
and
good.
The mental side to go on top of that.
Well, I was just about to say, there's the whole mental, the whole mental part of it that is a huge component of golf, right?
There's a fun trick actually. If you're playing with somebody and you're having a little match, and there's water on the hole, all you have to do is get them to notice it. There's water up here, and then you'll be surprised how many times they hit it in the water.
Really?
That's a dirty trick. You don't tell them I told you, but it's a good one. It works. I've seen it work a lot.
Well, that somebody did that to me. I was playing on a course that had a lot of rocks on the side in South Africa, and they said, "Watch the rocks." And of course, where did my about 3 balls went into the rocks?
Because they say that it's like that saying, don't think about elephants. Don't think about elephants. Don't think about elephants. Like, what are you thinking about? Elephants the whole time. You're like, damn. It's like, don't think about the water. Don't think about the water. Oh, there's my ball in the water.
Oh, very good. We're getting towards the end of our time. Kathleen, back to you.
Well, you told us about how to go to your Birrdi website, but how do people contact you if they would like to have a word with you?
Yeah, well, it's my name on all the socials, which might be a little difficult to spell, so you can show it throw it in the show notes. But it's Luke Nieuwland, and you can email me, luke@whiskyrun.com, and there's no E in whiskey. In Canada, we don't spell whiskey with an E, so it's WHISKYRUN.com. Or give me a call, shoot me a message. My number is 905-329-8890.
Excellent.
Okay, we will put that on there. Thank you very much, Luke. And wishing you the best of luck in the months and years ahead with everything you've got going on there. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. And once again, thank you all for tuning into our show. And until next time, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.